Today's video is a Q&A all about meditation. So meditation is one of those things that I get questions on pretty regularly, and I think it's because the whole idea of astral projection or achieving an out-of-body experience and meditation, they just seem to go hand in hand for a lot of people. So I was asked if I would share my own meditation practice, give any tips or tricks that I have to make your own practice more effective. How do I get started meditating? I get asked all the time, is meditation a prerequisite to learning to achieve an out-of-body experience? And then actually one that I just got recently was, what is the correct way to meditate? So I'll start with that last one because that's an easy one. There is no one correct way to meditate, but I'll give you some guidelines, I'll give you some ideas that'll hopefully point you in the right direction and get you started. Alright, so around the idea of projection and out-of-body experiences, is meditation a prerequisite, or is becoming proficient at meditation a prerequisite to achieving an out-of-body experience? Now the answer to that is not necessarily. Not strictly speaking, it's not. But I will say that those times where I dedicate time to meditation in my life, where I have a regular meditation schedule, I will say that those are the times where I have the most frequent out-of-body experiences. And I think it's because meditation does some incredible things for your mind. It does things like improve your concentration, it helps you develop mindfulness, helps you learn to relax your body very deeply and very quickly. So you might have heard the analogy that the human mind is like a chattering monkey. Now, one of the things meditation will do for you is it helps you learn to stop that chattering, or at the very least, it helps you learn to quiet the chattering and maybe make it a little bit less chatty over time. Now, that in turn lets you learn to focus your attention on a single point of awareness for an extended period of time. And all of these skills are things that are incredibly helpful when you're talking about learning to reach the mind-awake, body-asleep state. So aside from the skills that you develop over time with meditation, it just leaves your mind in this peaceful, calm, focused, just this state of general well-being and contentment that lends itself very well to positive projection experiences. All right, so I do want to say that most of the content on my channel is regarding out-of-body experiences and astral projection. So if you found this video in a search and this is not the kind of thing you're into, rest assured that meditation can help you in countless other areas of your life. It is absolutely not just for out-of-body experience practitioners, things like that. So I highly recommend, practice meditation for a month. Just make it a regular part of your day for 30 days and see if it can do anything for you. Alright, so my own meditation practice. I will tell you, I like to keep things as simple as they possibly can be, as long as they work for me. And so I found something that worked about 2.5 years ago, and that is what I've been doing ever since. Now meditation, like a lot of things in life, is one of those things that you can make it as simple or as complicated as you like. There are tons of different types of meditation. There's things like mindfulness meditation that you can even do while you're walking, where you try to put yourself outside of your own head and you try to be hyper aware of the world around you and the way it interacts with you. There's transcendental meditation, where you pay an organization a large sum of money and they give you this super secret word that is unique to you, and you can chant this word, and in turn it helps you reach deep states of consciousness, at least is my general understanding of it. There's different postures, ways to sit. There's like the lotus position, I'm sure you've heard of that. There's different positions to put your hands in. I believe they're called mudras. There's probably 100 different breathing techniques, from pranayama to reverse breath holding and pot belly breathing and circular breathing, and all of these things that you are absolutely welcome to take this practice, embellish it how you like, complicate it, add to it, do whatever you want with it. But my own personal practice is probably as simple as it can get. So, alright, so I'll break it out into steps. Step 1 would be to remove all distractions. Now this includes anything that's going to bother you from a sound perspective, so you want to put your phone in another room. I'd recommend not even having it, just out of reach. Put it in another room because you don't want to hear it vibrate, you don't want to hear your notifications going off, you don't want to in any way be disturbed by it. I recommend putting in earplugs, or listening to some audio, some relaxing music, some binaural beats, something like that, something to block out the sound of the outside world. During your practice, most people close their eyes. I close my eyes. I find that this definitely helps block out the outside world. You want to pick a time when children aren't going to disturb you. You want to pick a time where you don't have pets to take care of, or where you don't have any, other responsibilities that are going to distract your attention from your goal of meditation. All right, so you found a place that is distraction-free. You put your phone in another room, and now you're going to find a comfortable place to sit. Lying down is an option for some people. For me personally, if I lie down, that is a signal to my body that it is nap time. So I personally prefer to sit either in a recliner or a comfortable chair. I actually like to sit in an upright position, but I emphasize that it should be a comfortable position because it's going to be one that you need to hold for an extended period of time. I personally don't do very well with things like a hard wooden straight-backed chair because then, over time it actually becomes distracting because I stop focusing on my meditation and I start focusing on how my legs are falling asleep. All right, so you've got your comfortable position, your distractions are gone. The next thing you need to do is pick something that you want to focus on. Now this is going to be your single point of awareness. This is going to be your focus for the next 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes, however long you decide to make your practice. It's great to just start out with 5 minutes. Just start out super simple and then just work your way up. And if you can get to half an hour a day, that's amazing. All right, so pick what you want to focus on. Some ideas. A lot of people focus on a candle. The whole idea of the flickering flame, it makes it very easy to focus on for an extended period of time because it's fairly interesting to watch. Some other common things are focusing on your breath. That's one of them that I do regularly. You can focus on your heartbeat. You can focus on either the sound of your heartbeat, if you can hear that in your ears, or the sensation of blood pulsing through your body. You can focus on a chant or an internal mantra that you're repeating in your head. And it can be, you could be chanting out loud, you could be chanting internally. It doesn't matter, but the goal of all of these different things is to take your awareness and to focus on that one thing to stop this chattering monkey mind that we all have. All right, so for the sake of this video, let's say you picked focusing on your breath. So your distractions are gone, you're sitting in a comfortable chair, and you're focusing on your breath. Now you're not trying to change your breath. What you want to do is you just want to notice your breath. And you want to notice all of the different aspects of it. You want to notice the way it feels as it goes in your nostrils, the way it feels when you exhale and it leaves your nostrils. You want to notice the sound of the air going in and out, if you can hear that. You want to notice the feeling of your chest rising and falling and your lungs inflating and deflating as you inhale and exhale. You want to notice all of these things because all of these things help keep this point of awareness, this point of interest, interesting. Making it more likely that it's going to hold your interest for an extended period of time. All right, so as you get started, what you'll find, especially at the beginning, is that your mind will wander. Now that's perfectly natural, especially in this day and age where we have technology at our fingertips and we're required to multitask and we're doing 15 things at once and always thinking about what comes next in our day. You're gonna start focusing on your breath and you're gonna be doing really well, and all of a sudden your mind is gonna jump to something over here. Now when it does that, all you need to do is acknowledge that other thought and bring your point of awareness back to your breath again. It's important to not get frustrated, don't reprimand or criticize yourself or get annoyed with yourself because you've let your thoughts stray. That's something, it's just gonna happen. And it'll happen less and less the more often you practice, but at the beginning, that is going to happen almost constantly, at least if your experiences are on par with my own. All right, so every time that occurs, you just bring your attention back. Now that is it. Get rid of distractions, find a comfortable place to sit, find something to focus on, and every time your thoughts stray, bring them back to your point of focus. So a couple of thoughts, things that I did and that I continue to do that make this easier for me, is I found that at the beginning I had a really hard time keeping my mind focused. And there were times where my mind would stray and I didn't even realize it had strayed until probably a minute and a half later, and I realized, what am I doing? I'm not thinking about breathing. I'm thinking about, what I need to get at the grocery store this afternoon and what I'm going to cook for dinner. And so what I did is I made an audio file that I named Meditation Trainer. And really, all this is, it's some very low volume white noise, it's some binaural beats in the theta range on top of that. And in case you're not familiar with binaural beats, it's essentially it's one tone that plays in one ear, it's another tone that plays in another ear, and the difference between those two tones causes your brain to create this wavering frequency that's at a certain frequency range. So this is a frequency that's generated by your brain. And it actually creates what's called a frequency following response. And if you play frequencies down in this low theta range, your brain will be inclined to bring its frequencies, its thought frequencies, down to that same range, in turn giving you a deeper meditative state more quickly. And so, at least for me, that personally works really well. Now, every 10 seconds in this audio file at the beginning, I hear a Tibetan bowl being hit, and it, just a dong. And what that does is it reminds me, focus on your breath. And if my mind has wandered, hearing that chime brings my attention back to my breath. Now this happens for a few minutes, and then after a few minutes, it starts happening every 20 seconds. And so it's up to me to keep my attention focused a little bit longer. And then it goes to every 30 seconds, and again, it's up to me to keep my attention focused longer. Now this file that I created long ago is about 30 minutes long, and by the end, there are 3-minute gaps between each of the chimes. And what I've found is that when you get to the point where you can hold your point of awareness or your point of attention for 3 minutes straight without wavering, you can pretty much just hold it indefinitely. So this was a tool that I used, especially in the early days, that I continue to use today, especially on days where I'm having a really difficult time concentrating. So, in case anybody's interested, what I'll do is I'll upload that as an MP3 file. I'll put a link in the description below, and you guys are welcome to download it, modify it, do whatever you want with it. But maybe it'll help somebody else. The other tip I would give you is don't put a time limit on your practice unless it's absolutely necessary. And the reason I say that is because if you have, let's say you've got 15 minutes to meditate, and you set your alarm for 15 minutes knowing that after that 15 minutes is up, you got to go do something else. So two things happen, at least in my case. If I know that after that 15 minutes is up, I need to go do something, I spend part of that 15 minutes at least thinking about what I'm going to be doing and how I'm going to be doing it, and it distracts me from my purpose. The other thing is that I know that alarm is going to go off in 15 minutes, and so my internal clock is constantly asking, is my 15 minutes almost up? Is it going to ring soon? Am I 14 minutes in? Am I 13 minutes in? And that, again, distracts you from your purpose of meditation. So I know this isn't always a possibility, but if at all possible, don't put a limit on your practice. Listen to an audio file if you like, listen to it through the duration, but don't put time limits around your practice. If you feel like meditating after the audio file runs out, continue meditating. If you have to quit early, don't feel bad about that. You still took some time out of the day to meditate, it's still going to be highly valuable in the end. All right, so I think that's all I wanted to share today. Hopefully that's valuable to somebody. If I missed anything, if you have any additional suggestions or advice, please feel free to chime in. I would love to hear it. If you decide to take this 30-day challenge and make meditation a regular part of your day for 30 days, I would absolutely love to hear how it impacts your life, your general state of mental well-being. But that is it for now. So as always, comment, subscribe, help me build this community, and I will talk to you guys again soon.